Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome to the channel. If you're not familiar with the channel, I talk about goal setting, personal finance, and a little bit about our minimalist lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those, please consider subscribing. Today we are going to be doing our paycheck to paycheck budget with me video. I do these every single Friday. So we're going to be budgeting out our first paycheck of April. So let's jump on the Excel sheet and get started. All right, so this is the Excel sheet that I've had. This has evolved over the years kind of based on what I want to be able to see, what I want to track, and everything like that. I do have several people who are interested in this, and as I add to it, I will be making a base template that I will be offering for sale on my channel soon. All right, so what I do on these videos is we budget out the current paycheck. So my husband gets paid every single Friday. I'm self-employed, so I can get paid kind of randomly. So I basically just deal with, every single Friday. If I made anything that week, then I go through my budget on Fridays as well. It makes it easier just to say this day of the week is when I do it. Sometimes though, throughout the week as I make a purchase or something like that, if I will come on and update the budget if I need to maybe move numbers around. Maybe I spent more in one area, and so I need to kind of decide where's the money going to come from. And then also on the side here behind me, we'll talk about this here in a little bit. These are my actual savings and checking accounts at the bank, so I will balance my checkbooks in the videos as well. And then sometimes those I do come and touch on again as purchases are made or as bills are paid, but for the most part, setting the budget is on Friday. I like to start off with gray, and then I open up the slots in which that item, whatever paycheck that item is going to be associated with. So my husband, he'll get paid his base pay and his overtime every single Friday. Myself, this week, I did not have any pay come in, so I should have pay, though, the following 3 weeks for the month. So let's jump into today. So my husband's base pay is $740 before taxes. And I set up a few new things here to auto-populate. Here, 8% for my husband's 401k. I have that auto-populating for me. And then I have added on the side here the percent, so I can start keeping track of certain categories, mostly our food category. I want to make sure it stays around 10% of our income. My husband's overtime for the week was actually higher than anticipated. It was $832.50. Now they are working hard. They've been working every single day, 7 days a week, and then they were doing 10-hour days Monday through Saturday, and then 8 on Sunday. This particular week they actually did 10 hours all 7 days. So that's what that's looking like. This last week they had one day where they did 12 hours. But this should be their last, this one right now should be their last Sunday. He's in construction, so as they get close to finishing something, or say they get behind because they had to go back and fix something, then they start cranking in the overtime. So we're very fortunate that right now they have a ton of overtime. My husband is a worker. You can't really get him not to do it if it's offered to him. So he will do it. We do have our cruise vacation coming in, basically the end of May, so he'll get a good break. So he's kind of just saying, hey, let me pump through this. He's also in a pipe fitting apprenticeship program, so they have to complete 8,000 hours in order to finish the program. They say it's roughly a 4-year program, but the cool thing is that even all of his working hours and his overtime hours count towards those 8,000 hours. So he's actually already a few months ahead of where he would be if he was just working normally. So there's a good possibility that his 4-year program might turn into maybe a 2.5 or even at the least 3-year program. So that's pretty cool to see. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh my gosh, that's so much work. But we did, for those of you who may have followed, after we got out of debt, we bought an RV and we traveled for 6 months, and we did 2 work camping jobs. One of them was the sugar beet harvest, and we both worked that, and it was 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So Ricky would work from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, and then I would work 8 at night till 8 in the morning. And we had our 2 daughters with us, so we would trade them off in the car, switching shifts. So, we did that. I did it for about 2.5 weeks. Ricky did it for about 3 weeks. So it's doable when you tell your brain that it is temporary. So Ricky's had no problem doing it, but he is getting excited to be done with the Sundays. So we'll see. I'm gonna open those up. So savings for myself, again, this 15% would have been from whatever I made. I didn't make anything this week, so that is 0. The federal that came out of my husband's check was $61.37. So again, I mentioned this when I did the planning video that, you know, these are kind of estimates because every paycheck for my husband changes. So we don't have like a set take-home pay. You know, before he used to work for Goodwill. He worked there for 7 years, he's barely making anything there. But we knew exactly what every paycheck after tax would be. It was the same every time. This time everything changes. So I do the best to guess or, you know, estimate for the month, and then we kind of play with it, you know, as we get the real numbers. So Arizona was $26.04, Medicare was $22.80, and Social Security was $97.49. Okay, so 10% of my husband's base pay would be $157.25. So we start at 10% minimum out of every paycheck. That's what we're doing. And then once we finish our budget, whatever's left, we'll put into the emergency fund. So we're going to come down here. My husband, we are going to do his $100 this pay. And for giving, we're going to do $100. And this $100 actually goes and it sits in our sinking fund savings account until we actually need it. So this is a combination of gifts and donations. So if there's specific holidays, like we have Easter this month, we will use part of that money to do like Easter baskets and things for the girls. But if it's Christmas or, you know, a birthday or something like that, a special occasion, anniversary, we will use as gift money. And then during the months where we don't have anything or we didn't use what we budgeted and we have money still in the savings account, then we donate. We have about 4 different charities that we donate to. Okay, so the next ones we're going to open up all the way are these. These are automatically taken out of my husband's paycheck. So our life insurance for the family is $5.59 for each paycheck, and then his long-term disability was $5.66. The mortgage and extra principal payment, we usually cover those out of the last 2 paychecks. I did have a viewer ask if we are a month ahead. We're not necessarily a month ahead on our mortgage. Our mortgage is due on the 1st of the month. So what we do is, you know, out of this, the 19th and the 26th, that's when we have the money in the account, and then it auto comes out on the 1st. So, you know, we'll have the full amount by the 26th. So really, we're only, you know, maybe not even a week ahead. Maybe a week ahead, something like that. Groceries, we're going to do out of the first 2 paychecks. So we're just going to split that in half. So we're going to do $180. So the black means that was the set number. Like, that's the number. If I budget ahead, sometimes I'll budget all of these ahead of time. That's what I used to do before I was budgeting with you guys. So it would be in red. Once I had the exact number, it was black. And then if it was money that was already spent or transferred to a savings account, then it became black so that I can tell my brain that money doesn't exist anymore. And then orange means it's money that we currently have and we can work with it. This giving, I'm going to go ahead and leave black though, because right now it's in the savings account. So until we actually need to use it. All right, so coming on down, we are going to do personal care and household out of this paycheck. So 100 and 200. Now these bills right here, they have specific due dates. They come out of our checking account automatically. So the phone is due on the 17th and the other ones are due around the 28th of the month. So I will cover those out of the second paycheck most likely. Car gas, we're going to do out of 2 paychecks. So we're going to do it half and half. So we'll say 50. And then motorcycle maintenance, motorcycle gas, same thing, so we'll say 30. The girls, we do the same thing, we do half and half, so this will be 16 and 8. And then the fun category, so we're going to do half again for the fun. So this would be 120. We'll go ahead and do the movie money and the date night money. We can go ahead and have ready, put aside. We won't be using these yet. So date night for us is the 3rd Friday of the month. And then usually the weekend before or the weekend after is when we usually do something like an event or a movie or something with the girls. So we have kind of like a date with the girls and a date with just us, and that has been really nice. I have 3222 left. What am I missing here? Okay, I figured it out. So I have this auto-populating. I forgot to fix my formula because we are doing 8% now, not 7%. So it's 125.80 is what went to my husband's 401k. I have my notes here because I knew something was off. Okay. All right. So now I have a 0. So I've told every single dollar where to go. Now I'm going to balance the checking accounts. Let's see here. Let's open those up. We're going to balance the checking accounts and see what we're doing. But real quick, we can kind of see here so far out of the income that we have, we can see that, you know, my husband has the 8% for the 401k and that our savings is actually at 11%. So we're a little better than the 10%. So we'll kind of keep track of that as we progress on. And then our food, we want our food for the whole month to be around 10%. So as of right now, we have 11% and 8%, which obviously is higher than that 10%. But we have the rest of the month, you know, to project that out. So let's go ahead and on the side here and see what we got going on. So these are the different things that we have going on. So like I said, my template has evolved because of the way I want to keep track of things. We used to use the cash envelope system. So those of you who follow Dave Ramsey, basically for certain items like eating out, groceries, gas, things like, you know, clothes, monies, things like that, you would put into your cash envelope. So you'd have a divider for each thing. So you'd have like gas, groceries, food, or, you know, eating out, fun, whatever. You'd put that money in there. So then when you went to the store or the restaurant or whatever, however much cash you had is how much you had. And so that was a really good way when we were first getting a handle on our spending habits. So we did start with the cash envelope system. Since then, we have now turned our bank accounts into our cash envelope system. So we have several checking accounts and savings accounts, and they kind of act as our things. And we have started using a Discover card for our restaurants and our gas and sometimes other purchases, bigger purchases like the repairs on the car and the motorcycle, things like that, so we can earn cash back. So I mean, as you get a handle on your money and you start doing a budget and you start filling these things out, then really just do what works for you. But I want to be able to keep track of everything, and I want to see it in one spot. So I have all of our accounts here. So the income, this is a checking account. So my husband's direct deposit goes into the income. When I pay me out of my self-employment income, I do a direct deposit into our income account. So that's our money that we've made. Stay tuned. I am going to be posting my first self-employment income expense report for January of this year on Monday. So if you want to check that out, come back for that on Monday. And then we have, basically there are a few things we will keep in the income account, kind of like our cash, as our cash envelope. So maybe our grocery money or the girls' commission job money, things that, you know, we might want to take out cash, or it's just things that we can use anytime. All of the other accounts are basically off limits. So if we don't have enough in the income account to like maybe splurge and go over and say we're gonna, we're gonna spend a little extra more on this, then we don't have the money. Because this next one is our necessities checking account. So everything that we put in here are bills that have an automatic withdrawal, like our mortgage and our electricity and our water and things, our insurance, all of that stuff. So that way we do not accidentally spend that money. We get it in that account and we leave it there until it comes out. Now our fun, this was a checking account that we're using specifically for fun. Now, like I said, we're kind of using the Discover card and paying that off. So it's kind of an empty account right now. We'll just have to see. And then my husband has his own checking account. This was a similar one. His $100 would go into his account and then he could spend it however he wanted. However, now he uses the Discover card and then we just pay it back. So we're kind of changing up how we do things slightly. We have our emergency fund. which is our savings account, and the only thing in that account is the emergency fund. We used to have other things within the account, and we would keep track, like I'll show you here on my savings tab how we keep track of that, but I decided that, hey, we need to keep that completely separate from everything, and it's really helping us to not touch the money, because when we have our other account where we're allowed to take money out for certain things, we were tending to take money out of there for things that we don't need to as well. We have our 401k. My husband's 401k is through a whole separate company through his employer, so that's not at our bank, but I do like to just keep a running total of what's in there. We have, and then this is our sinking fund savings account that I was talking about. So we do have money in there, and they are lined up with what they go to. So this 48 cents is my savings. We decided that the 15% of my income is going towards real estate. So for right now, our first real estate, our first property is the house we live in. So last month I had about $220 and the 48 cents in here. So I made an extra $220 payment on our mortgage principal. So now I still have 48 cents in there. So we'll be adding to that, and then at the end of the month we'll put that towards the mortgage. We had $52.16 towards our dream fund, and this is actually now $2.16. I had $100 in there that was going to go towards my computer. After looking at our projections for the rest of the year, I believe my self-employment income will be able to cover the computer by the end of the year. So I did end up using $50 of this. I opened up a Robinhood account, which is another investment account. I'm going to be playing around with investing in dividend stocks on that one, so stay tuned as I get into there and start doing more of that, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll have our 401k and the Robinhood account, and then we'll be, like I said, paying off our mortgage, so we'll see how those go. Coming on down, we do have $60 in our home maintenance fund. So, you know, probably this month or next month we will be having the pest control guy to come out, because all the ants and all the summer bugs are starting to come out. So I will have that done, which was about $40 to $50. And then we kind of keep adding to this account as needed. Once we start using the air conditioner, we do have our home warranty. We purchased the house, and we did a 1-year home warranty, so we do want to have them come out and take a look at the air conditioner and everything like that. So whatever we have to pay for that service call, we'll make sure we have the money for that coming up. And then the other thing in here is $18.91. This is for our motorcycle insurance, where basically we paid the year, so now we're just putting money in there each month, and it can kind of earn a little bit of interest until the next payment's due. And then the last one we have here is our vacation fund. So we have $1,365. This is specifically for our cruise. Stay tuned. I'm going to be filming our cruise budget after I've done filming this. It'll probably be posted next week. If you're lucky, maybe I'll post it this weekend, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. So we have that. And then we have our girls fund. So this is a savings account with just our girls money. So anytime our girls earn their commission money, half of it goes into their savings account. If they get birthday money or Christmas money, half of it goes into their savings account. And then basically the birthday money and the Christmas money, that half is saved so they can buy bigger and better things that they have their eye on. Out of their commission job, part of it is their giving money and part of it is their savings money. So if they are invited to a birthday party, they can use their giving money and chip in on the birthday present. If they want to do something nice for someone out of the goodness of their heart, they can use their giving money and do it like that. So that's what they have. So my oldest has 87 and my youngest has 53. So they're doing good. They're saving up. And then the last category, the last two areas here, what I calculate, the card. This is the Discover card. So I know what was the last charge. We had filled up gas, and my husband had to order another tool or something for the motorcycle. So we do have a balance. We'll probably be closing out this statement with a $58 balance. We usually try to get it down to $0 or $20 is usually what we do, but we'll see. Our balance, the statement ends, I believe, today, which is the 5th, or it may end tomorrow. So I can try to make a payment. I can try to make that $58 payment today, but I don't know if it will process in time. But that's okay because we've technically paid everything else off, so it's not really, we wouldn't accumulate an interest charge on there. I hope that makes sense. And the last one I have here is due and scheduled. So these are I can put the due dates on here. So again, our mortgage is due on the 1st, but I put it here on the 30th. So I want to make sure that we have the mortgage payment no later than the 30th, because some months, you know, there's 31 days, some months there's 30. So we try to just say, hey, let's have the money by the 30th. And then these are the other due dates of the other bills that we have. So the 17th, the 26th, the 10th, the 28th, December, it's a one-time thing, December, the 28th, and February, and then we have the 26th. And then we kind of just have a running total of what we got. And now what I need to do is go through for the paycheck my husband just got and update where did we put the money. So we did put that $173 into the emergency fund, so this is the correct updated amount. My husband's money is still in the income account. The savings, the giving money, we did move to the sinking fund, so I'm going to put that over here on savings. The grocery money is still in the income account. The personal care and household money is still in the income account. The gas money was moved to the necessities account because now, like I said, we use the Discover card, and when we make the payment on the Discover card, that comes out of our necessities account. So we actually have $57.20 towards gas, and the motorcycle gas is in there as well. The girls' money is actually here, and this money is already gone as well. So it's actually just 16 and 8. Let's see. We still have $71.25 in the necessities account for our water bill that's due on the 10th. So we paid for that. We are kind of a month ahead on that bill. Eating out, we left in here, and then we did put the date money into the necessities account because Ricky uses the Discover card when we do date night. So this just shows you, we have $774 in our income account, and we have $258 in our necessities account. So we have the money ready to go. So as like I said, if we use the Discover card, say we end up using the Discover card for personal care household items, then I would transfer this money into the necessities account to make that payment when it's due. Alright guys, thanks for joining me for another Paycheck to Paycheck budget. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.